hold to that.
How do you feel, again, each one of you, how do you feel about the fact that prior to protests, he wasn't even taken off the street? But once he was taken off the street, within less than 48 hours, the internal investigation was opened and shut, and he was exonerated.
I have a problem with that because I had a case open since August of 2014, and I'm just getting a letter to tell me how that's going. The end results of that complaint yesterday. So I don't understand how they open and close that situation so quickly. That investigation. It's just mind-boggling to me, and it tells me that they don't really care about what's going on in our community. They don't really care that the police officers aren't respecting us. They don't care. That's all it shows me.
So I think, when I was at the Capitol a couple of weeks ago, we had a forum where I spoke after another representative. And the representative sat in the space where you had black and brown representatives and senators speaking about their experiences and experiences of the community. And I don't know that he meant to do this, right? This is the reality for some people. They don't mean to necessarily negate our experiences, but they want you to understand what their experience is, which has nothing to do with the lives we live and experiences we have and the interactions we have with police. And his reality was that when he was a young man, because he was from Italy, they called him Mussolini. And after a period of time, they seemed to get over it, right? He decontextualized what that really is. What that really is the introduction to America for white ethnics, right? The introduction to America for white ethnics is you go through a period of hazing, but after a while you get to just be white.
Yeah.
Well, I don't get to be hazed and be white. And so it goes on and on and on, and it went on, and it's got many different flavors and textures, but we know it still exists for us, right? So what I said was, I am tired of white people telling me about what I see with my own eyes, right? And so we have seen these kinds of things over and over again. And here's what's important about this situation. Yes, the protest elevated it, but the protest elevated it because you had that video, right?
Right.
And we know that the law, the Supreme Court of Connecticut has said you can videotape cops, but in effect, you cannot videotape cops because there is no clarity in the law, right? So right now, what we are attempting to do at the state capitol is clarify that law so that you can actually videotape cops without a cop busting you upside your head, or without a cop taking your video and destroying it, right? And here's one of the things that's important for people to recognize. You may have lost this battle. There's a large war. And what we do is we focus on the battle and we lose the war, right? So if you don't have the ability to videotape those cops and be fine videotaping those cops, what are you going to do the next time? Or how are you going to get people agitated about this issue? That's where we have to be focused. I recognize people are upset about what happened with this young lady. I'm pissed off about it, quite frankly. But we have a lot of our children who have to interact with those cops. There is a war to which many of us are not a party. Barbara, you have been out here for a number of years. You have this forum right here in the center of the community. There are no people here. So we talk about, we've seen it now, we're going to get active. I've been out there with you for a number of years. I don't believe it. I'm asking you, I dare you to prove me wrong. Because if you prove me wrong, I'll be happy.
Yes.
Because if I'm happy that you prove me wrong, it means we have some movement on videotaping of cops when they are out in our streets. It means we have some movement on oversight of cops when they take our kids to the ground or they shoot our kids. All of these things are right there right now for us to have happen. The question is, are we going to have movement? And we don't have movement because when we are doing these things in City Hall, at the Capitol, we don't have people. We don't have people show up and say, I want this to happen. And then I got people that turn around to me and go, well, you guys should pass the law. Yeah, we should. But people, you got cops who should not throw our kids on the ground. We know what people should do. The question is, are you going to force them to do the things they're supposed to do?
That's it.
Or, if you don't want to show up then, you going to vote them out of office? Are you going to sit in the community, talk to each other in forums like this, in the barber shops, in the hair salons, and it doesn't change policy? And they know it. So that's why they do it. They do it because there's absolutely no consequence for doing that to us. There needs to be a consequence.
That's it.